Good afternoon, student. So today our topic is defect in solid crystals. Okay. So that topic we are going to see next. So this is also the topic comes under solid state chemistry, second year, right? Solid state. So under the solid state, in the previous topic, Bragg's equation we have completed. Today we are going to continue the defects. Defects in solid crystals. So this topic we are going to learn today. Okay, if we see the defects, so remember that before defects we must understand about the solid. So in solid state, the compounds, whatever the compounds which are present in the solid form, they are two types. So one is crystal solid. Solids are of two types: crystal solid or crystalline solid, and amorphous solid. So crystalline, amorphous. So that is a different topic. So crystalline solid and amorphous solid. But here we are going to understand, we are going to learn about the defects in crystalline solid. So we are going to learn about defects in crystalline solid. Crystalline solid. So whenever we are going for solid structure, the solid of the given compound, if any compound we are taking, like example, I am taking NaCl, sodium chloride. Sodium chloride is a crystalline solid. Sodium chloride is a crystalline solid. Sodium chloride is a crystalline solid. So in this crystalline solid, we have the arrangement of ions. So in the sodium chloride, we have Na plus ion and Cl minus ion. So these sodium plus and Na plus ions are arranged in this way. See, Cl minus, Na plus, Cl minus. So anion and cations of this NaCl are arranged in a proper order. So in a proper order it will be arranged like this. Like I am drawing over here. So in a proper arrangement they have arranged in this way. So this exact distance they are going to form a total packed solid structure of NaCl. So this is what we call crystalline solid, crystal of NaCl. So these crystal of NaCl normally they used to show defects. So whenever we are going for crystalline solids, those solids are not perfect. Not every time you are going to see a perfect solid structure. So in this solid structure, we are going to get some defects. So those defects we are going to learn today. So in the lattice structure, when we are saying this total structure of this particular solid, so this particular solid structure is called as lattice. So total site is called as lattice site. Or lattice structure. This total structure is called as lattice structure. Remember that this point. What lattice structure is crystalline solid, or what is lattice site? This is the total structure of the ions in the given NaCl crystal is called as lattice site. And the point, suppose this is the point. This point where we are having one ion. This is second point. The second point where we are having Cl minus ion. Third point, fourth point. So the point which is present in the lattice site. In the lattice site we have points where the ions are constituent particles like Na plus, Cl minus are present. Those are called lattice point. Lattice point. So what exactly we have in the total structure? Lattice point. So what exactly we have in total structure? So total crystal structure is nothing but the arrangement of lattice point. The arrangement of the three-dimensional arrangement of lattice point around the space is called lattice site or crystalline solid structure. So in this crystalline solid structure, we are going to learn we have some defects. So those defects we are going to study now. So hope you understand. Then I'll continue with the defects. So what are the defects and how are they, that we are going to discuss now. So I'm just starting with this now. So before defects, we must know about the solid thing, solid compound. Then we are going to understand the defects. So defects, when we are going for the defects, it is there are two types. So first is stoichiometric defect. Stoichiometric defect. Second one is non-stoichiometric defect. Non-stoichiometric defect. So today at least I am going to explain you about the stoichiometric defect. So first I will explain what is the difference between the stoichiometric and non-stoichiometric defect. See, listen here. Stoichiometric defect is nothing but the defect is produced in the crystal where does not change the stoichiometry of the crystal. Suppose the formula of the crystal is AB2 type. After the defect occurs, the formula remains going to be AB2 only. That means the composition is going to be remain unchanged. For example, if I have NaCl over here, at the end also the number of Na and Cl is same, and the formula of the compound is not going to be changed. The composition is same. That is called stoichiometry. That is the chemical composition of the solid remains unchanged. So after the defect, the crystal structure of the solid containing composition does not change, and that defect is called as stoichiometric defect. Whereas the non-stoichiometric defect, the composition, the chemical composition of the compound is going to be changed. If it is going to be AB2 type, so that remains not AB2 type, it is going to be changed in the stoichiometry. That is what called non-stoichiometric defect. So today we are going to learn about the stoichiometric defect only. So here I am just writing stoichiometric defect. In stoichiometric defect we have two main classes. Stoichiometric defect further classified into two types. So here we have two. One is Schottky defect. Another one is Frankel defect. Okay, Schottky defect, Frankel defect. We have two broad classes of stoichiometric defect. One is Schottky defect and another one is Frankel defect. So first we are going to learn about the Schottky defect and Frankel defect today. Okay, so first the Schottky defect we will see. So here I am just taking Schottky defect. Schottky defect is nothing but defect in the crystal, right? Defect in the crystal. How it is going to take place? Like I am just drawing the structure over here. I am taking one example to explain the Schottky defect. That example is NaCl, sodium chloride crystal. Suppose I am taking sodium chloride crystal. So in the sodium chloride crystal, if I draw the structure, the lattice point arranged and we are going to form a three-dimensional structure in this way where Na plus ion, then Cl minus ion, then Na plus, then Cl minus, then again one more Na plus. So let me draw this. Then we have these type of lattice points are the ions are arranged in the given lattice structure. So this is what we are drawing over here. Okay, so here we have Na plus, Cl minus, Na plus. So suppose this is the structure we have. So if you want one more, I will write. So suppose this is the NaCl crystal. So in this Schottky defect, some defect is going to be produced over here. Some of the anion and cation are going to mix. Like from this place, sodium plus ion is missing, and from somewhere here, chlorine minus ion is also missing. That means they are producing some empty space over here. they are going to produce some empty space. So in Schottky defect, number of anion and cation are missing from the lattice side. This is a side. This is also a side. But this lattice side, this point is not having those cation and anion. So these cation and anion is missing over here and producing defect. And this defect is called as what? Schottky defect. Remember that in Schottky defect, the number of anion and the cation which are missing are same and equal. Suppose 2 Na plus ions are missing. So 2 Cl minus ion is also going to be missing along with that, and they are going to maintain the electrical neutrality. So first point over here to remember about the Schottky defect is the number of anion and cation which are missing is same. The number of anion and cation which are missing is same, and they are maintaining what? They are maintaining electrical neutrality. Electrical neutrality. They are maintaining electrical neutrality. And because of the Schottky defect, short of anion cation, the number of anion and cation which are missing here, remember that they are going to increase. This defect, when this defect is happened, this defect is going to increase very less, but they are increasing the electrical conductivity. They are going to increase electrical conductivity. Electrical conductivity increases due to this defect. Even though the electrical conductivity which is increasing is very less, but still it is increasing. When we are talking about this total crystal, because of these defects, they are going to lose, like the closed packed structure which they have because of the anion and cation. If someone is missing between the crystal, then the structure of the solid is going to be somewhat get defected, and the stability is going to be decreases, and density is also going to be decreases, because the number of anion and cation decreasing over here from the normal size, then it is going to lose their density. So in the Schottky defect we need to say density decreases in the defected solid. Density decreases in the defected solid. And last point, but very important in this defect is whenever we are just losing the anion and cation, the number of anion and cation which are equally missing, and this particular crystal, normally this particular defect is takes place in a solid crystal where the size of anion and cation is same. So the anion, like if I take the example NaCl, so sodium chloride, the size of sodium and chloride, cation and anion is same. So here this type of crystal can show Schottky defect. Even if I go for this another example, one more example is CsCl, cesium chloride. Here also the size of cation and anion is same. Now just remember the number of cation and anion which are missing is same, so that the electrical neutrality is maintained in the crystal structure. So when I continue with this electrical neutrality, when we go for the next example, like if I take MgCl2, magnesium chloride, one more next point I can add over here. So here, if I take magnesium, the magnesium cation if I have, if that ion is missing, for this magnesium ion, I need to take 2 chlorine ions. So this we must remember. So because one magnesium ion is using 2 chlorine ion to get a MgCl2 compound. In the same way, when they are missing in the defect, when they are producing defect, if one magnesium 2 plus ion is missing, then along with that 2 chlorine minus ion will miss and produce the defect in this kind of example, right? So that is what we are maintaining electrical neutrality in the given solid structure. Now we are going for the next second type of defect, that is called Frankel defect. So here I am writing Frankel defect number 2 type. Frankel defect is the second type of stoichiometric defect. Here also the stoichiometry remains unchanged. The composition of the chemical compound is not going to be changed after defect produced. So this is what we call Frankel defect. So what is happening in the Frankel defect? So here same point. Here also there is no miss of electrical neutrality because here there is no missing of anion and cation at all. Only the cation is going to be missed from their place and going to occupy some other space. So that we are going to understand by taking one example. So suppose I am taking zinc oxide, one example. Zinc oxide. I can take zinc sulfide also I can take. I can take AgBr also. Okay. So I can take many of these examples. So like AgBr I am taking over here. So I will just draw this example. Like I am taking AgBr. Ag plus Br minus Ag plus Br minus Ag plus, then here Br minus Ag plus Br minus. So one more row I will draw. So suppose this is the solid of AgBr. So remember that Frankel defect, the small, so the cation and anion which are present in the structure is going to be different size. That is, the anion is bigger and cation is small. And the small cation, see, when cation is small, like in this way, I am having big anion, suppose in this way, big anion. Suppose first I draw small anion, okay. If I have small anion like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So in between these anion we are going to have some space. This space is called as void. V-O-I-D, void. If I have a big anion in this way, if I have big anion, then this space is going to be also bigger. So the void is going to be big over here, and this side can occupy one of the ion, which is small in size. So same thing is happening over here. So in between the anion, one of the cations is going to miss from their place from here, and they are going to occupy this side, this void. They are going to occupy. So this void or this position is called as interstitial site. Interstitial site. Interstitial site. So the cation, which is small in size, is going to occupy the interstitial site. But they are not missing, they are inside the crystal only. The crystal is not going to be changed. Crystal is as it is, only the small cation is going to be replaced. They are just losing their place and occupy one interstitial site. So based on that, and the defect is produced in the given crystal, and this defect is called as Frankel defect. So in the Frankel defect, when we are going for the electrical neutrality, anyway the number of anion and cation is going to be equal. There is no change. They are only occupying the interstitial site. That's it. So there is no change in that. So we can say electrical neutrality is as such. Now after that, when we are going for the electrical conductivity, it is slight increases, not very much. Suppose if I am taking 1 mole of the crystal, 1 mole of the crystal. If I take 1 mole of the crystal, in that 1 mole of the crystal only, 1 mole is equal to how much? 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23. So in 1 mole, that many molecules of the crystal is there. So in this 1 mole, only 10 to the power of minus 5 or even lesser defects are there. That means the defect which is producing in the given crystal is very, very less. So based on that, how much electrical conductivity is going to be increased? That is also very less. So slight electrical conductivity is also increases for this defect as well. But when we are going for the density remains unchanged. So like density is not going to be changed for the Frankel defect. But when we are going for the example, as I wrote over here, zinc oxide, zinc sulfide, AgBr. So here in this example, the cation and anion size are different. So the size of anion and cation is going to be different. So this is what we call Frankel effect. And one more thing over here. If I take the example, which they can ask a direct question. Here also I can include the AGBR. So AGBR is the only compound which can show both Schottky effect and Frankel effect. So only AGBR is the only compound, only solid crystal which shows both Frankel effect and Schottky effect. So to remember this, when we are seeing this, when we are listening this, it is very easy. But when we are just going to write in the exam, we may confuse. So remember that in Schottky effect, shortage of anion cation. But in the Frankel effect, the one of the small ion, like small cation, is just getting interstitial site. That is what we need to remember over here. Schottky means short of anion and cation in the solid. And here there is no shortage in the Frankel. One of the cation is occupying interstitial site. So it's simple. If we see Frankel defect and Schottky defect, these points which we must remember. For Schottky defect, electrical neutrality is maintained, and for Frankel defect also. And increasing electrical conductivity for both. But when we are going for density is reduces for Schottky defect. But density remains same in the Frankel defect. But when we are going for the example, in the example we have NaCl, KCl, CaCl, where the anion and cation size are same. But when we are going for the Frankel defect example, ZnO, ZnS, AGBR are the example where anion and cation size is different. So that is what only the difference we have to remember for Schottky defect and Frankel defect. And one more last point, AGBR is the example. AGBR is the crystal in which both the defects are possible, both Schottky and Frankel. So this is what the defect, this is what the stoichiometric defect, non-stoichiometric defect will continue in the next class. Hope you understand, and this topic is very important as well. See you then. Thank you.